A very good afternoon. Many thanks for staying with us here on TV47. Welcome to Newsfeed. My name is Mombi Chege. Now, the Kilifi County government has shifted to underground water exploration to boost water supply in the county. Now, Kilifi depends on water supply from the Mzima Springs and Baricho waterworks, but the supply has been inconsistent because of frequent power cuts due to non-payment of bills at the Baricho water station. Kilifi Water and Natural Resources Chief Officer Kenneth Kazungu says the Amazon King's administration aims to sink over 100 boreholes across the county in an effort to mitigate water shortages. Kazungu says the main areas of focus are regions experiencing long dry spells such as Ganze, Magarini, Kaloleni and parts of Rabai sub-counties, which he says water ponds are not enough to sustain the growing demand.
Yeah.
Shida ya maji tumekuwa nayo kwa muda mrefu, imekuwa changamoto. Tulikuwa tumelilia huko nyuma, tukapewa maji, tukapatiwa pipe kutoka hapo stage kwa Juaje mpaka Mitahani, lakini pressure huwa ndogo. Hakuna maji. Huwa tunapata maji kwa mwezi, mara moja kwa mwezi. Sasa pia wananchi ambao wamevuta hizo pipe wako na shida kwa sababu inabidi walipe bili na hawajapata maji.
Hiki kisima kimebadilisha maisha ya watu vizuri sana, kwa sababu watu kutoka Kombeni Mruruma ilikuwa wanachukua maji hapa. Kwa hivyo hapa ilikuwa ni foleni kwa sababu kisima ilikuwa ni kimoja. Kwa hivyo ambavyo vingine vimepata kuchimbwa, tunashukuru kwa sababu hakuna foleni. Ukija unachota maji na unaenda nyumbani kwa ajili wakati unaofaa.
Kwa nini mwananchi wa Mwawesa ama Rabai anapata hizi shida? Ni sababu iko cartel pale Mazeras. Utaona buza za maji usiku na mchana zinajaza maji na kuuzia wananchi. Jambo la kushangaza ni kwamba maji haya hayafikii yule mwananchi katika vitongoji vya Rabai. Maji haya hayafikii. Na kama tunavyojua maji haya yako katika chini ya shirika ya Coast Water Board. Na ningependa shirika hili liweze kuangazia maneno haya ya cartel, manake ni haki yetu kupata maji masafi na maji kwa wingi.
We thought of buying a water drilling rig that is going to do boreholes. You see, borehole water is kind of dependable because once a well is done, it is able to supply water continuously throughout the year. So far, since this rig came, we have been able to drill a lot of boreholes across Kilifi County. And already we have started seeing the good results. At least people in areas that had been suffering a lot are kind of then now getting some reprieve.
Now, the Kenya Human Rights Commission has said revenue sharing must be equitable across all counties, criticizing a section of senators for supporting the third-generation revenue sharing formula. Now, the commission has stamped the move by the senators as an acceptable negation of the spirit of the Constitution and must be strongly resisted. This comes at a time when the Senate is in a race against time to come up with another revenue sharing formula for counties after 34 senators this week shut down the third basis revenue sharing formula. This as counties continue to linger in a financial crisis following the current stalemate on revenue allocation to counties.
Revenue sharing must be equitable across the country. The hallmark of devolution is equitable access to resources for equitable development across the country. Attempts by certain members of the Senate to perpetuate unequal development for political self-interest are an unacceptable negation of the spirit of the Constitution and must be strongly resisted by all Kenyans.
And still on the same, Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka has encouraged senators to embrace dialogue for the stalemate at the Senate over the sharing of revenue formula. Kalonzo says that 2010 Constitution guarantees equity of resources, and thus the Senate should work out a mechanism that will help the country move forward. Kalonzo emphasized on the need to significantly increase the share of the Equalization Fund so that those who might lose money in the final agreed formula will be properly compensated through the fund.
And you need to really reach out to them and help the best way you can. So, as we do this, we realize that this pandemic seems to be decidedly with us for some time. But we cannot kneel down before the pandemic and give up and throw our hands in the air and say, fate. We leave everything to fate. A lot of us are believers, and we know that God is still sitting on the throne. This pandemic will go away. And so we must now begin to think of post-COVID recovery of the Kenyan economy, the East African economy. I liked it very much when President Kagame said that we must act together as a region, the East African region of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and be able to overcome together, because together we will overcome. Na kwa hivyo mimi nina matarajio makubwa kwamba tutashinda vita hivi. Dunia nzima itashinda. Tunasikia mambo kwingine spiking na kwingineko. But if you look at the trend ambayo imeendelea, na huku bado tunawashukuru sana, tunawapongeza wenzetu ambao wanashughulikia mambo haya na Mutahi Kagwe na timu yake. Kwa sababu wanajaribu kabisa kujimudu. More testing. Testing imeenda kila mahali. Tujue sasa hii COVID iko kila mahali. Please do not stigmatize a Kenyan kwa sababu wako na hii kitu. Itapita. This is not isipokuwa immediately unapita. After 14 days you're okay. Na hii ni kama influenza. Influenza lakini ambayo iko na ramifications ya kuleta hofu. Hofu, tusiwe na hofu kama watu wa Kenya. Tuogope mambo ya hofu, tukabiliane na janga hili, na tunajua kwamba Mungu akiwa nasi tutashinda. Tuungane pamoja. Na wakati kama huu, mimi kawaida ni mtu wa kushikanisha watu na kuleta mafikra ya watu pamoja. Kuna mjadala huu wa ugawaji wa fedha ambazo zinaenda kwa kila mojawapo makaunti zetu 47. Kulikuwa na hali ya tatanishi katika baraza la Senate. Maoni yangu kama ambavyo niliteja hapa, nilisema hapa.
And Livestock Marketing Council Chairman Jubat Amey has said that senators have failed Kenyans for failing to strike a consensus on the third basis of revenue sharing, even after making 7 attempts. Speaking to the press in Garissa County, Amey said the Kenyans had high hopes in the Senate, but failure to resolve the revenue sharing formula impasse has disappointed many. A 10-member mediation committee also failed to take off after one side of the senators failed to submit names of their representatives. Amey called on President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga to marshal their troops and ensure that come Tuesday, the country will have a solution to the stalemate.
We expected senators to be people of very high integrity, elders, patriots, nationalists, who are not going to look at this country on ethnicity or region. But today, it is very unfortunate that our Senate could not agree on any formula on revenue allocation. It is very bad. Some of our senators are behaving like a village headman. We want to tell them the populous areas with high population, we need development for them. There is no quarrel. Equally, the ASAL areas which have been neglected needs development. I think it is not right for money to be deducted from Wajir and Turkana and then given to Muranga and Usangishu. They can come up, this country, the budget is 3 trillion. What is now being argued with is only 326 billion, which is not even a quarter, which is not even 1/3.
Now, healthcare workers in the country have been advised to seek counseling as one of the measures to contain the rising cases of elevated stress while at work. Now, according to experts, since the onset of the pandemic, there have been a lot of